and boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome back to this midweek edition of the only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show. This is the Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. To everyone on the West Coast, good morning. To everyone on the East Coast, good afternoon. It's time for lunch and some lacrosse talk. On today's show, I might have found the best way to bet the NLL finals. We'll discuss the PLL's new rules and the fans' reactions to those rules. And more NLL awards being announced as we speak. You know, betting is hard and sports gambling is no joke. After all, unlike what FanDuel wants to claim, when they give you money back, when you place the bet, part of gambling is risking knowing that, you can lose. However, the NLL does not have the sharpest lines. And I think I might have found a way to win some free money this NLL Finals. Our top story is presented by Daily Dive Store. Shop our official branded merchandise by visiting the link tree in our social media bios. Support our show as we grow the game. Yes, the NLL betting has some holes in it, to say the least. Granted, the following information is only for entertainment purposes, and I am not accountable for any bets you place, even if you do tail me, as they say. But this year, it feels like every spread has been about 1.5 goals. Every total has been about 22.5. And the money lines haven't been huge payouts for underdogs. But this NLL Finals, via DraftKings Sportsbook, for those United States folks, Game 1 is plus 150 on the money line for Colorado. It's plus 105 for the Mammoth to lose by only a goal, or of course even win. However, what's interesting about the 150 is it's actually plus 160 for the Mammoth to win the series. I'm not the smartest sports bets talker. I defer to people like Hutton Jackson and other awesome guests we've had on this show. But even if you believe, like 98% of the NLL fan base seems like, the Bandits will win, you can't pass up plus 150 in Game 1 if the series is plus 160. Even a one-goal loss by Colorado gets you plus money at 105, which is absolutely wild to me. I would say choose the plus 105 for the obviously plus 1.5 goals, considering the long 2-week layoff, which I mentioned about the Bandits that they've just had. And then hammer the Bandits, especially if they do lose Game 1. Game 1, of course, is Friday. Game 2 is Monday. Game 1 is on ESPNU for United States, and Game 2 is on ESPN2. If there's a Game 3, it'll be on ESPN+, all those TSN for you French folk. I don't think Mammoth win this series, but I do think Game 1 could be a major upset and a great talking point. What do the Daily Dive fans think? I do want to get you guys' opinions. Let me know on @DailyDiveLax via Twitter or IG. And even the live YouTube comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this whole thing. Personally, I think this series is absolutely fascinating. Most of us, like I said, believe the Bandits are going to win. They're favorites for a reason. But that Buffalo curse, that rematch of last year. As I've said, last year, the Mammoth shocked us by making the finals. This year, it's even more of a shocker to me. They made this thing in playoffs. To me, the Mammoth are dangerous, and they're very disciplined. So if I'm Buffalo, I don't want them hanging around. I want to kill them in Game 1. I want to sell the Mammoth tusk for money after the game. If Bandits take unnecessary penalties, though, we could see another upset, in my opinion. But again, plus 105 for the Plus 1.5, of course, on the spread for the Mammoth. Or if you're feeling frisky, plus 150 for the Mammoth might be a pretty dang good price for only one game. Why bet the series if you can get game one as an upset? That means you pretty much win this. If you would have, let's say you lose in the Bandits, like win the series, the plus 160 is gone. Well, let's say Mammoth win game one, Bandits still win games 2 and 3. You betting the Mammoth to win in game one is about as much money as if you would have picked them to win the whole thing. And that to me is insane. It's, again, next year may not be like this, so make your money while you can. Up next, new PLL rules. I liked one in particular, but boy, the Paul Rabel fanboys think a little bit differently. Daily Dive will continue next. To shop your favorite NLL merchandise or any other league for that matter, head to Fanatics via the link tree in our social media bios. When you make a purchase on any officially licensed merchandise, we get credits, and for that, we thank you. PLL had some rule changes, and I will be honest, I kind of did not understand 2 of them. Well, that's a lie. I didn't understand 1 of them. Another one was like, okay, cool. And there was one in particular that's got fans ruffled, if you will, in terms of feather talk. The one that I found, again, not that I care, is the 2-point arc, the new 2-point arc. Updated arc distance to 13 yards out from the center of the goal on either side of the goal line extended. It's kind of like taking those corner threes. This would be that. Not the arc itself, but like the corner threes. They've, like the corner 2, should I say, they've done that, if you get that. Timeouts moved from 3 full timeouts per game to 2 full in 1 30-second timeout per game. I guess they like the pace better. And even more things about the pace of the game. A 32-second shot clock after the possession of each faceoff or after a shot on goal when offense retains possession for shot clock reset if the clock is at or below 32 seconds at time of the shot. Oh, boy. You know, it amazes me how much the PLL has tried to be like the NLL is this offseason. Remember that tournament they had, like the Sixes or whatever it was, the 3v3? It was like a condensed version of their game. And it's like, well, you're basically playing box lacrosse at that point in rookie terms, I guess. And then they do this thing where not only do we get a half of a timeout for our third one, now you're telling me I get a 32-second clock. Fans are not happy about this. Coca-Cola Steve says college does it best. Enough time for strategies in all aspects of the game. Ride, clear, early offense, late offense, keeps 5-goal games close. 80 seconds will always be ideal. Have you heard of a 24-second shot clock? Just saying. Somebody said no one tell Marcus Holman about the extra 2 yards of 2-point space in the low right wing. History, whatever. Jarhead, a.k.a. at PCP Marine, said, when all players are contract employees, kind of hard for them to speak out against rules handed down. Yeah. Pete Shurik says, I don't want PLL to turn into sixes. It's fun to watch for a tourney every now and then, but if it turns into the actual year-round product, I probably won't watch much. There's a fan of field lacrosse over box lacrosse. I'm telling you, box is better. But if you prefer the old 1908 baseball pace, then I don't know what to tell you. So Stone Davidson says the 32-second shot clock is not as big a deal as everyone is making it out to be. It would be better to retain the 52-second shot clock after face-off possessions, yes. However, having a reduced shot clock after a shot on goal, if the offense retains possession, is a good idea. Again, if there was a 50-second shot clock in the NLL, boring. Absolutely boring. It's bad enough watching college players pass it around. I love what somebody called the pass first offense. Good God. Oh, what a gross term. 2 for Foos says, gimmicky rules that fail to enhance the game. Wow. No central reason to support a particular team like geography or some other affiliation. Basically a TV league. Wow. Someone said 32 seconds after a face-off seems rather quick. Again, I disagree with that. Peter Jacek says, I personally was not a fan of the Sixes. Seeing the shot clock drop like that makes me worried that that's what we're going to get. Oh, this is good. Elite Hogs says, y'all just screaming for attention. Have to try changing things rapidly. How about focus on finding permanent homes for the teams, which they've already announced they're going to do? This is wild. This is insanely wild. I find it very interesting, again, that the PLL is they're skating on thin ice, in my opinion. I know, I get like the whole TV sports where, like, you know, fans want to be entertained, which to me, if you want to grow the game, this is kind of what you have to do. But man, this seems a lot like box lacrosse, man. Like for Paul Rabel to be like, you know, PLL this and PLL that, and I'm the best. For him to allow things like this makes me wonder if you kind of miss the NLL. You know, I can only wonder, just saying, the fact there's like a box lacrosse league affiliated with the PLL is also humorous to me. You can tell me, oh, they want to be trained. I don't give a crap. If you're playing field lacrosse, why am I'm not training you on box lacrosse. That's just dumb. It's 2 different sports. I keep telling people that. You cannot convince me. Ask NBA fans if they think the WNBA is the same as basketball. No, they don't. I personally like the game of basketball. I like the game of lacrosse. But to pretend that box and field lacrosse are similar or almost the same is pretty foolish. As a casual fan, again, my second year really watching this thing, it is not the same product. And again, for the PLL, I'm happy they're doing it. I'm okay in a world where I can watch PLL and the NLL. I'm not mad about that. It's just, it's funny to me how the PLL has done so many box lacrosse type things, like dropping their shot clock down for a faster field game. I'm all for it. But careful what you wish for, Paul Rabel. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be anti-Paul Rabel for the first time in my life, but it is a little bit weird. Just saying. All right. When I come back to Dilly Dot here, we're going to talk about more NLL awards. I got Barry McCockered by IL Indoor, and I apologize for that. I will correct the award on the other side. If you watched yesterday's show, you know what I'm talking about. And also, who won GM of the Year? Ooh, that should be fun. Don't say I didn't say it first. We'll be right back to Daily Dive. awesome flavors of B-Res Coffee Company by going to brescoffeeco.com and checking out all the coffee made for gamers by gamers, and of course, lacrosse and Daily Dive fans. Use the promo code Daily Dive at checkout to support the show. Thank you so much for that. More NLL awards are being announced, of course, as we know. The Toronto Rock's Dan Dawson won his second Teammate of the Year at the ripe age of 41. Georgia Swarm's Lyle Thompson and Six Nations Chief player Lyle Thompson won his fifth consecutive sportsmanship award. Rochester Nighthawks GM Dan Carey won his first ever GM of the Year award. Of course, as I mentioned, I liked that because he added Connor Fields, and according to our information here, Dan Carey had 335 points, Jamie DeWick had 280 points, and Mike Board had 223 points. So it looks like the favorite there was pretty much Dan Carey, as I predicted. This one was, I did not see this coming. Yesterday on the show, I said that Tracy Koloski had won the Coach of the Year. That was apparently the IL Indoors Awards, kind of like we did ours. Well, he didn't. Kurt Malowski of the Calgary Roughnecks not only won the award, but destroyed the award. In fact, he had 440 points. Tracy Koloski finished second at 241, almost 200 points behind, and Mike Hasten had 199 points. That really is insane to me. A second-year Panther City Lacrosse Club with a bunch of guys who are like 25 years old or 25 years young and below made the playoffs and took the same Kurt Malowski team to the brink. Although these awards, again, are voted on before the playoffs start, which, again, I call BS. I call that not just the NLL. But I find it very funny that Kurt Malowski ran away with that award. Like, really? Everybody in the media thought... Pro Calgary, and I know Christian Del Bianco, the number one fan of the show, said that don't try to push this agenda. It's not an agenda. Look at the awards and tell me if you see how favoring of Calgary it was. And that matters to me. Like, why isn't it all the best Canada team this year got all these award nominations? It doesn't make any sense to me. When Del Bianco wins the MVP, again, I will state my case because guess what? As I mentioned before on the Instagram story from NLL, Dane Smith was leading the MVP votes from the fans. People like me. But we don't know the game. It's okay. I get that. I'm not saying Del Bianco doesn't deserve the MVP, but seeing a 440 for Coach of the Year, that rubs me wrong, and I'll tell you why. When Stephen Curry won his NBA MVP award unanimously, how did Steve Kerr also win Coach of the Year? Like, what is it? Do you have the best player or do you have the best coach? I don't believe you can have both. So when Del Bianco is finally named the MVP, which I have been saying, it seems like it's going to be a thing. Every media person we talked to was like, oh, how is he not the MVP? Okay, I get it. You guys, I understand. Whatever. But it's very weird to me that if you have the Coach of the Year and if Del Bianco wins the MVP, how can those two coexist? I just need to know. Like, is Jeff Teat's coach being considered? No, because they won 5 games. So value obviously is not. Obviously, 5 games wasn't good enough. So Kurt Malowski again winning by almost 100 points over the Panther City coach Tracy Koloski. That is going to be, to me, damning to the MVP award. You're telling me this was by far the Coach of the Year. And in the same breath, or should I say 24 hours later, you're going to give the MVP to Del Bianco? That's a fine line to walk. That's a very fine line to walk. Watch Jeff Teat win it, man. I'm telling you, Riptide fans and lacrosse fans in general do not want to hear from me if Jeff Teat has announced the MVP. Believe me. we're probably going to wait till Friday for that thing, right? I'm thinking Thursday we get transition, defense, and a rookie. I'm pretty sure MVP is going to be its own thing on Friday. I'm just saying, I don't know how they're scheduling this. I wish they would be more transparent with that. Not like a big gripe. But yeah. But shout out to Dan Carey. Shout out to Kurt Malosky. I just think, again, it's a little bit peculiar to have an MVP, if that's the case, and a Coach of the Year by that overwhelming favorite. Just me. Thanks so much for watching the show once again. Tomorrow, we're having an NLL Finals preview. Who wins the series and who wins Game 1? Like, seriously, that's a thing now. So, Mammoth and Bandits, of course, the rematch is set. Cannot wait to talk about that tomorrow. Again, we will have 2 more guests on the show tomorrow for the NLL Finals preview, brought to you by Daily Dive. It's the only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show, but you already knew that. For everyone that watches the show and interacts on Twitter and all that good stuff, thank you. To every one of our guests that comes on the show and takes time out of their day without being paid, gracias. To everyone behind the scenes that's working on the great things that we are for this coming up season, you're awesome. I'm your host, Karvelis. This has been Daily Dive. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.